finally made 10 o'clock on the dot. Allison, we have Allison with us. And I need to know if you guys can hear me. If you can hear me, testing one, two, three. Oh, shit. Can you guys hear us? Here, here, here. What's up? What's up? Can you hear? Can you hear? Testing one, two, three. Let me know if you can hear me. We got the kitty, kitty, kitty with us tonight. Alrighty, Allison is with us. Can you hear us? Nick? Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you hear us? And I want to see how the.
Alright, so now, let's go to each. Let me close everything out.
Right there.
I wanted to close it out. Alright, now. Right?
Yep.
Alright, and then right here.
All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
No.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You can? Alrighty, let's do this. Is there anybody in the chat? There is?
Yep.
Alright, guys, we just had to see. We just wanted to see if anybody was in the chat. We wanted to make sure that the live is all fit up. Welcome, welcome, guys. Welcome so much. We got the American flag, and we are here with Allison. Um, let us know if any like craziness happens with the live. We are behind 4 trucks and off in the cut. So, Allison, take it away. Tell us your story.
Oh, it's a little microphone thing. That's cute.
Yeah. Oh, Mikey,
Well,
Mikey.
it just depends on what do you want to know and
Your
start with.
life. I mean, what?
My life.
I mean, not your whole life,
My
but
life would take forever.
yeah. So, let's just say what got you into the fight. And
Okay,
yeah,
well, that is my life. So,
yes.
I mean, it started super early. I had
What?
damage from pharmaceutical companies at a really early age, so I was dealing with that. And then just the majority of my life is about getting people to stand up. I'm the ultimate anti-bully person, so I ended up starting a group online about 8 years ago. It might be a little over 8 years now, through Facebook, Empowerment Through Hardship. And then I've been gathering people all over the world that see through the system, because it was the more that you talk to people outside of the country, you realize that everybody is dealing with the same exact thing as everybody else. Every culture, every practice, every ethnicity, every group, everything that you can possibly think of, it's split between narcissism and empathy. And now people are realizing more and more that these divisions and these subdivisions were there just to keep people divided. And that's the biggest message of what I do, is that everybody is already on the same hard conversations with each other. Then it is really clear that everybody wants the world to be a better place. So my whole everything that I do is just connect with people all over the place. Um, I travel a lot. I have a lot of friends from outside of the country, and I grew up that way. So we would have visitors come and stay from Germany. I got to visit Germany once. We traveled around there. It's interesting too, because the whole of Germany is the size of Ohio. So traveling around there, you're hopping around different countries, in a much smaller time frame. Yeah. So a lot of people just do like a train pass thing, where you could just tour around all of the European countries that are in it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I want to do that at some point, but yeah, really, everything I do is based on talking to people and getting people together and out and on the same message, and really making sure that people know that they're not alone, because they've done so well with isolating everybody that no matter who you talk to, they're like, oh my gosh, I thought I was the only one that thought this. And they're not. You're not. I'm not. Everybody is saying these things now. So it's just more and more to the surface because of the level that everybody is pushed to. Everybody is just at their frazzed out wrecked point by the system in any way you want to look at it, whether it's, careers or medical or prisons or industries or chemicals or you name it. It's a freaking problem at this point, and everybody is tired of it. And everybody's been fighting these things individually and not able to actually connect outside of that, because it takes a life's work to handle any one of these problems. And now we're at that explosive point where every single activist, every single human rights, every single person is standing up, and it's amazing. So animal rights, black rights, human rights, women's rights, everybody is standing up now. And that's what we needed to get to. So I mean, it's traumatic what's happened. It's absolutely traumatic. What I like to tell people is we're all trauma bonded by 2020. That's a trauma bond, and these friendships last forever, because that's exactly what happens. And really, I've met the most amazing people the last couple of years, especially because doing this for 8 years. I really thought that I had more people on my side than I did. I mean, I still have amazing people that I gathered throughout that time too, but a lot of people fell for the last fiasco of the 2 years here. And it was really surprising. People that I thought really knew what was going on with the system, they didn't. They really had no clue, and they bought right into it. And I felt like I lost them that way. I felt like I've been doing nothing but grieving and like screaming to people, this is not reality. So everywhere I go and everywhere I do, these are the conversations that I'm having. This is what I talk about. This is what I do. This is my whole freaking life because I'm so tired of it. I've been beat up by the system in every single shape and form and angle, and I'm just as tired as everybody else, you know? So I think that's probably as good of a summary as I can give you. If you have, like, yeah, questions about it.
That's cool. Definitely, we're gonna have questions. I know they're gonna have questions.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm just like kind of
But
talking to the air because your light is super bright. Yeah.
Like looking into it, you can't see the screen.
oh, I know it's hard. But
That's all good.
we have her.
She can
She's
like what Nikki did
gonna. Yep.
yesterday.
Yep. She's gonna get all the answers and all that.
Oh
But
yeah, that wasn't the thing. It was just to them, so they know why I'm like being a weirdo and
LinkedIn.
not.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Looking over
You're
here.
good.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so when it comes to this is a new thing for me also with this mic passing around. So please bear with us. I normally scream to you guys through the phone, but it's just something that we want to try out. So we got Nick in the background going to get all the questions and stuff like that. If anybody has any questions, feel free. But also, what is your background? Like, I know, all right, so I don't know if I want to put you on the spot, but
You go for it.
so, yeah, so when I asked, because she didn't have her American flag on her car. So I said, hey, here's American flag. She goes, nope, I don't need it. So that's where I want to know
Okay.
your side of your movement,
Okay.
what you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she supports it, but she has another outlook on it. So that's where I want to come to.
Okay, so with that, um, I'm a it's really important for me to represent the underground and the cultures that aren't being spoken of right now because I am a very mixed ethnicity. My background is all over the place. I have an influence from all over the place. And so when I say that I'm not gonna, pledge my allegiance to a flag specifically, I pledge my allegiance to the people of the world. That's my view. I respect every flag. I respect every soldier from every single country. I love the military themselves, but I do not love the government. I don't respect the government. I don't respect any sort of indoctrination. I don't respect any sort of conditioning that gives people's power away from themselves when we're supposed to be the power. We are the power. We are the voice for the entire world right now that's sitting there screaming in these other countries that don't have a voice. And so when I don't want to pledge myself to a one flag in a one country specifically, it's coming from a stance of I'm bleeding for the rest of the world right now.
And we went.
Wow. That was some power.
I took your light out.
So yeah, so
Light.
I'll give us a
We're
little
in the
fire.
darkness now.
yeah, right. So what we'll do
See,
is
the light always shines bright, though, even in the darkness.
yes, it does. Yes, it does.
See, we're all sitting here smiling. See all the pearly lights?
Yeah. Yank it, yank it, yank it. Come on now. Send it.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let me go ahead.
Let there be light, everybody. Let there be light.
Oh my god, that's better.
Way better.
Here we go.
We're around we're around a trucker's campfire.
Yes.
This is called the redneck
Nick.
campfire. The truck
We got
stop.
two. Oh,
Dear-
you're the only one, right? So the picture was good? Well, we got 4 likes and 2 people on, so that'll be you and somebody else.
Does your
No, we got 2 people.
So that's why we need to put your link on Nationwide. That way
yeah, but either way, this records the video, doesn't it?
Correct.
Then you're fine. We're just talking and recording, and if people come on here, they come on here.
right, just being real anyways. That's all we're for.
Give me that beginning section of the video too,
Oh, no,
and
we
then
got 3 people now. Guys, don't go nowhere.
this
Get
stuff
some
out.
more people.
Yeah.
Get some
Um,
more. Yeah, we had some technical blackouts. Okay, so run it.
when you do this though, can you save the whole just first section of the video and
Yeah.
send me
Yep.
that, and
Yep.
then I'll be able to send
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. We run it. I mean, everything that goes on, even if it's blurry, I'm
Yeah.
still gonna share it
Good.
because you can hear it.
Yeah.
We have to do another thing too when she talks.
No, it's awesome. I can work with this video too. I mean,
I mean, we were thinking
that's
about
good.
going out there, but it's no big deal. I mean, we got 3 people, so we should be all right. All right, go ahead.
Well, I'm not sure exactly where we were because I went kaboom with the light.
Kaboom!
Hold on, let me think. You were
Um.
flag.
The flag.
You were explaining the flag, and you were pretty in depth.
Yes.
Well, actually, that was the ending point when the light went out. That was the end of my freaking sentence.
What?
Yeah, I swear.
That was
all the
awesome.
same
Yeah.
still on here. That's
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
that, heard
yeah.
that.
So
All right, so what do you do
bring
once-
it, bring it.
My heart bleeds for the world, and then the light shut off.
Yeah, yeah. They can rewind it and go back.
Yeah.
You are just coming on. You want to rewind this
Yeah.
video
So
later,
we could just
you want-
carry on
Yep.
and do that. Right.
Share, share, share.
And I'll tell you. Go ahead.
Yep, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, we're good. Figuring out all of these things.
So, Brian, can I say something real quick to everybody here? I want to Freedom family. Is this all right? Hey, what? Anyways, hey, this is
Cut in, bro.
this
You
is.
don't have to
Oh
skip
yeah,
the song.
see, this is a good way to keep me to shut up and stay on turn. Give me a microphone. Take it away from me when you want me to shut up. Anyways, I just want to put a shout out. I want to make sure we mention. All right, we're all at the Capitol today, and Florida United Convoy was there, and I want to let everybody know, and it was actually enjoyable, even though we were all, it all ended up coming together. They did the right thing. It was enjoyable. Everybody left safe. Everybody left free. Everybody left, being lawful, and it gave a really good vibe. So I want to at least throw that message out for Florida United Convoy. We know we have differences, and those things they'll either work themselves out or we are in whatever. It is what it is. We still all need to be together, and we all need to come. And on April 30th, 4/30/22, worldwide, not just nationwide, we need 2 feet, no feet, no legs. My brother's got a prosthetic leg. He gets around. He still rides a bike. So, I'm disabled. I still go out on my feet. I need people to know this is a good message. It needs to be out there. Everybody needs to stand up. So everybody needs to stand up. So I wanted to put that shout out to Florida United Convoy that we
All right, now
appreciate
back
them
to
doing that.
Allison.
And then back to Allison because Brian wants Derek to shut up.
Because we'll have your next video up for real. Because we'll always have you.
Well, you're going to be a platform for us. We're not platform people. We just go.
I ain't either, really.
Well,
Go ahead.
Are you going on the camera? You're not like really on
No,
screen.
all I gotta do is just this.
Oh,
You're
okay.
good.
All right.
You got the right personality. So, if we can focus on that, we focus on our part, then we all work together.
So, as far as the cultures all speaking up, so France established the Yellow Jacket protests by the 2018. They were already out on them. Canada has been out and doing protests this entire time. South America, Africa, everywhere that you can think of, everybody has been protesting just as hard, if not harder, than the United States in the Middle East. They've been fighting this war, state of lockdown, that they will close the whole of the borders. They don't let the citizens cross over to go to the doctor. They don't even do those things. They don't allow packages in. That's what they did to Australia. Just this last year, I tried to send one of my best friends is in Australia. I tried to send him like a just gift from me, handmade craft kind of thing, just to send a friend gift sort of thing. And there wasn't even an option anymore in the post office to send a package to them because they closed off external international shipping. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They want everybody to be closed off, and then my grandmother, I call Alma, but she tried to send packages to her friends over there. They're going through the same postal nonsense that we are, worse than, and then they say that it's lost and all of that. And then locally, there is a whole freaking epidemic of people just breaking into mailboxes, and oh, it's not a new crime and that's nothing new. Well, it's new to the level of what's going on right now because it's being employees everywhere, and then in the meantime you have everybody that's amazing and really trying to do better for the world of these individual positions too. It's crazy.
Can I respond on that real quick? With the, no, because it goes along with this meal and people may want to know. Like, details that's,
But you gotta think,
and,
though,
and
this
then,
does have a title, Alice.
I thought you said, I thought we were doing a round table.
No, we will. We
Oh.
will, but we want to get her time so we can
Oh,
answer
okay.
questions, and then we'll do it.
But go back to that post. Go back
Yes.
to the mail and stuff.
Yes.
Because it's very important. People get
Write it down.
Well, there's just corruption on
I
every
know,
single
right?
level. Yeah. So if you look at local levels, last month in February, I went into my local city council meetings, and then I ended up doing their budget meetings too. If you apply that to government or any of these positions, that's why people are, you either get it or you don't. Because if you've never handled a narcissistic abuser, you don't know how to stand up for yourself. You don't know what gaslighting is. You don't know that they're playing with you mentally.
what happens when they speak the truth.
Yeah, that's insane how it does that.
Darkness is trying to come in, but we,
I guess there's a time on it. I don't know. Because they got a full battery. That's stupid. Yeah, why would it shut off? Like, you should be on all the time. But go ahead.
Maybe it's a motion sensor, not like moving
Yeah,
enough.
right? Like, dude. Hello.
No, but really, that's why if you look at any single piece of this, whether it's coming from religion or whether it's coming from school or whether it's coming from a job, uh, you don't know until you know how to stand up for yourself. That's why they spent decades destroying people's self-esteem. They want everybody hopped up on pharmaceuticals. They are up to about 60 something different vaccines by the time that you're 2 years old.
can't say
I'm talking about difference. This is a completely different section of this. This is a medical side of what's going on right now, and people are so reliant on a system that has been out to damage them from the start. And so when you just are forced to trust the uniform, trust the uniform, that just completely blinds you to who's behind that uniform in the first place. It's the same thing when you apply road rage. The reason why people have road rage is because you're not seeing the person, you're seeing the vehicle. And the second that you dehumanize somebody like that and you objectify them, somebody like that, you're not having that humanitarian connection that you need with an individual. That's why some people in New York are gonna freak out, but usually if you bump into somebody in New York, nobody freaks out about it. But if you're right, because you have that face-to-face interaction, you can apply that human empathy, and they go above and beyond to just make people distract you from your life. Just be focused behind a screen, be focused behind your job, actually do what they want to do. They see it as like a gift, right? A special little treat in life. Like, no, life is supposed to be like that all the time. You're not supposed to have to kill yourself to be alive right now. You shouldn't have to pay for food, natural resources. And there is no such thing as overpopulation. There is overcrowding, and they condense people in these small areas of absolute jam-packed poison that nobody can see, that have never been outside of Cleveland, Ohio. How can you ever say what's going on in the world if you've never seen anything? Talk to people. And then a lot of people just stay in their little close-knit group. You have the Polish village here, you have the Ukrainian village here, you have the German village over here, and everybody stays within their factions. And we are in the Hunger Games right now. We need to unify everybody because everybody's screaming the same thing thinking they're alone. And that's not the case. That really isn't the case.
Because we're all on the same boat.
Exactly. People are scared of other cultural beliefs. It's because that's a part of the conditioning, the isolation, the keeping you afraid of your neighbor. Just on your own block alone, people don't take the time to talk to the other
Oh, and say,
houses or
hey, how's my neighbor?
exactly, or who are you, or
Right.
what's your life
Remember
like?
back in the day when
Nothing.
it was like, oh, here, like, go to the neighborhood,
Yeah.
like, giving you a pie or something.
Right, communities.
Yeah.
Exactly, and
Right.
that's what's
That
missing.
don't
So,
happen.
agriculture is destroying the world. Everybody knows it. Fracking's destroying the world. Everybody knows that. And now what we need is permaculture. We need things that fix the world. We need environmentally sound stuff. Exactly. So if you add on that community aspect that's missing, you could have a local market in every freaking neighborhood. Yeah. It could be on all of the tree lawns.
Bring back the
That's
family.
city property, and yet it does nothing for the city. And then they make you pay for any of the maintenance on top of that. And that was the same with the whole of the system. So the whole of the system, the infrastructure across the United States right now was like it was all designed 100 years ago. So it's all falling apart. It was designed to fall apart in 100 years. That tells you everything. They've
What do
been
you mean?
planning this so long that they were aiming for a state of chaos right now. Right now. 100 years ago, they said, we're going to build this to last 100 years, and this is what we're going to do right now in 2022 and 2020 when this all blew up. Yeah.
And you think it might be like population control?
In a way, it's
Careful saying that.
Oh, yeah.
it's
Population. Yeah,
just in the sense of too many people are awake right now. They are blasting everybody full of chemicals because the chemicals didn't work the way that they wanted them to. What
So
this
now they're trying
does,
something
yes,
different.
it's a neurological poison. Experience with getting bit by spiders. I'm up to about 27, three of which are black widows, and that is the most dangerous neurotoxin known to humankind.
And you bit 3 times?
3 times in a matter of 3 months, and it was insanity. So that was when I was out in Oregon.
Okay.
The
So you had to
first,
go to the hospital.
no, I did it myself. I just self-treat.
Holy
I
crap.
can't do vaccine,
No,
any anti, no, it's what is it called? Anti-venom.
Antivenom, yeah.
Anti-venom.
Yeah, 'cause that's sort of like a, vaccine.
Issues with it. Including emergency surgeries. So I mean, I'm full of reasons about all of this,
Trying
but
to
the
stay and
black
do it on
widow
your own.
poison, yeah, is a compounded neurotoxin. So throughout its life, anything it comes across, it just adds on to its chemical compound. And so in one example alone, they measured about 43 different toxins. And so each generation is different from the next, and each generation evolves to be more lethal to humans specifically,
So each one gets stronger.
stronger and stronger and stronger. And so
So-
anything that comes across it takes
they're
that
not worried
in
about
and
that, though.
becomes a part of its poison.
So they're
Yeah.
not pushing that as the deadliest.
But that is a neurotoxin. And what neurotoxins do is it destroys the neural pathways in the brain. It isolates the different centers of the brain while trying to liquefy your organs, because you have to think about how a spider eats. It drinks its food. And then it doesn't want its prey screaming the whole time. So it shuts off. They see a problem with people speaking up, having self-esteem, having control of their own body, uh, poison damage. Everything is poison damage. They never want you to absolutely detox, because then you would actually start to be able to heal your own body. None of our water is clean enough. None of our air is clean enough. None of our pieces are clean enough. Our food is overloaded with chemicals, and all of that has applied. All of it is accumulative. And so every time that you add on another something, you're adding on to the previous something, and it builds and builds and builds, and then the body tries to separate it in the forms of tumors and
So
cysts.
sooner or later you're gonna be
Yeah.
able to take shit.
But it's also more of your organs. Your organs just can't take it anymore, and so
Yeah.
some of them will explode. Some of them will just absolutely just shut down. Yeah.
That's what this
That's
is
why,
doing to people.
Right.
Because
Right.
There's something that's
They didn't say something about us smoking cigarettes. It was
Well,
good.
cigarettes,
Bullshit.
tobacco,
Yeah.
tobacco is actually an
A good
ancient
thing.
plant.
Right.
It's the same as the green one, and it's an ancient plant. All of them are indigenous to everywhere. There's a way to grow everywhere. It is located everywhere it's always been. And so when they took that out of human diet, it stripped people of the ability to know for a proper immune system. Yeah, for a proper immune system. That's the same thing with the plants that they're so against. It really boosts those things. It opens the pineal gland. It gives you that connection to yourself. It relights the brain up. It's like a circuit board. If you take away certain pieces parts from the human diet and the human experience and being a human itself, you're stripping people of spirituality. And then they'll sugarcoat it with a, hey, read this book and that should be your beliefs. No, that should be the alphabet to you. If you believe that and you really believe that book, it should have been your first book in a series of a long way to go. There's so many other books and cultures and information out there. It's like learning the alphabet and never learning anything more. Really. And then a lot of people can pull the truth from these things, and they've stripped away the internal power that people are supposed to have so much. That you is a danger to being a human, or it makes you a bad human. No, it doesn't. People are supposed to experience everything in life. You're supposed to harm nobody, experience life. This is not a permanent thing here. Enjoy it. Exactly. There's so many things, so many amazing things in this world to experience, from modern stuff to skydiving to being in a hot air balloon to off-road segwaying. I highly recommend that one. Yeah, off-road. It was amazing. Yeah. There's stuff all over the place, and so they've kept everybody right from having fun. Fun is spiritual. Being happy is spiritual. Being in nature is spiritual. And those things really have been just taken away from everybody on such a mass scale that's why we're so sick. The old school healers would ask you, when's the last time you danced? When did you laugh last? That's what makes you a healthy human being. When did you hug somebody that you love? That is spiritual. And so when you disconnect with that, it really is, because human spirituality is so much greater than any one of these individual pieces can give you. It's connecting the pieces, it's connecting to all of the energy, it's connecting to the earth, it's connecting to humans around you, and the adventures that you get to have. Everything is a form of spirituality. Right. Right. That's why when you do certain things that you absolutely love, you get into that zen-like state. That's you being in your zone. That's zen. That's exactly what that is. It's easy to translate these things, really, but like it takes having these conversations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good word right there, Allison. That's a wake-up call for a lot of people right there. That's a lot of truth.
Right. Well, a lot of people really don't give themselves that downtime. Being in touch with yourself and taking away body awareness. You know, there's doctors out there that will straight tell you that human beings cannot feel their own organs. And I said, excuse me, what the flip? Because it's an awareness. They try to say that you physically cannot feel your own organs, but what they should be saying is people aren't usually aware of your own organs. Because anytime you feel hunger, that's you feeling your organ. Anytime you breathe in, that's you feeling your organs. Anytime you feel and moving, people say, oh, I can't move. Well, it's because you never move. And that is a part of spirituality. Dancing, moving, when you speak up, that's using your throat chakra. Using your heart and feeling something, that's your heart chakra. Using logic, that's the crown chakra. Speaking from your gut, those are all just using your chakra pieces. And so all of these different cultures have different names for it, but really it's about getting in touch with yourself and using the tools that we have as human beings, because as a whole, human beings are absolutely magical creatures. We produce static electricity, which means we produce electricity. We are magnetic, which magnet. So we are connected to Earth magnetic energy. We are listen to that's mind-blowing in itself, but to say that you need a device to tune into frequency is an absolute lie. It's awareness, it's reminiscent or whatever. If you turn on the radio and you guessed that song before the radio like had it on, that's you actually being a radio. You picked that signal up before you turned it on in your car. That's what happened.
If that shit happened to me, I would
It will if you become aware.
Yeah.
But the more it's
But
it's
I think
bringing
it'll
that
only happen
attention
like
to
once or
it.
twice.
It'll start happening the more you're around it.
And
The more you hear people like Allison or whatever, the more aware you will become.
well, it's also to the level of cleaning up the environment. All of these things are heavy metal. All of these things are stuff that destroy the body. So if you recover all of these pieces, it's just going to happen naturally, more and more and more, because humans are the amazing creation of evolution. We cannot be stopped. People as creatures cannot be stopped. They can't. And so when they say that, people only lived until 12, only lived until 20, only lived until 50, that is a lie. Human beings know way longer. Way longer. Throughout civilizations, yes, in true history, humans lived for a long, long, long time. They did not age this way. They did not have disease this way.
Yeah, and I think they did.
Disease is man-made. It's man-made.
And yeah,
That's exactly when they put a patent and a lockdown on cancer and curing cancer. If the cancer would ever be in existence, when you can get fruit in Australia that can cure it. There's fruit
yeah, I heard
from
about
South
it.
America
Yeah,
that can cure it. There's all of these natural things, all of the natural plants that is also dangerous, cures people.
Wow.
And all of this has been built and built and built and built for a very long time, and it's not just the last 2 years. That's what people really need to get through to, is this has been thousands of years in the making. Thousands of years. It's not even 100 years, it's thousands of years. Because they've had that long of a time to travel around and change cultures and switch around and just pick up remnant empty places. It's exactly what about ancient Egypt. So ancient Egypt, as we know it, 3,000 years ago, that was not the original civilization of ancient Egypt. They just moved in there where these buildings were abandoned. And then they carved their stuff into these buildings. And that's the history that they carried and created throughout this whole entire time.
So what was before though?
It was a much more advanced society.
That's
It
what I
was
was asking you
based off
about.
of the pyramids and natural energy, and what actually the true energy of Earth is tapped into exactly what we were just saying, the magnetic, the frequency, the vibration, all of that of the planet itself.
G5
And it,
or whatever.
right, the G's are all radiation. The second that they said G, the Wi-Fi, all of it, it's all planet. It's mineral. It's dangerous. It's unhealthy. Unhealthy. It's being with frequencies, any of the microwaves that they use, they are manipulating and destroying
So, yeah,
on an
see,
ancient
yeah,
side of what was actually here before.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. So, can you give me a smoke, please? All right. So, see, and that's what's crazy because I think, and that's where I was trying to get at is like you have so much good points. Can you hear anything or?
Yeah, I can
Okay,
hear.
you
I
hear it.
can't see.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Don't matter. Hearing is better. It don't matter.
I can
But
see like her hair.
oh, it's the
I can't
bad.
see her
It's the bad
face at all.
reception. Sorry, guys, but it's about the
I can see her
message.
muffler.
It's about the message, and that's all it counts right now. It
I can
doesn't
hear her
matter.
loud and clear.
All right, good, good, good. So yeah, when you're talking about the microwave thing and the frequency and stuff like that, it's like that's what I was trying to think. Why are people so dumb? Like they are so like yeah, duh. So I'm thinking when you're saying the frequency,
Well, yeah.
yeah,
So
like
that's an
they're controlling
accumulation
it
of
right there.
stuff. So what fluoride does is calcify the pineal gland. It cuts you off from being a human. Um, what these other things do, the frequency that stuff is is sitting on right now is actually destructive to the human brain itself. And then you add these pieces on and disconnect people from themselves. I call it the fluoride zombie stare. Fluoride zombies. I've been saying that for years. But that's the disconnect, because it's not that they're idiots. It's not that they're uneducated.
They're
It's
being
not.
brainwashed or
It's
something, right?
brainwashing, but it's
With
straight
technology.
poison, is what it is.
Okay.
They're literally drugged to the point of not being able to respond no matter what they're actually thinking. It's the same as what I'm saying with the black widow poison.
Right.
It cuts you off from your verbal skills. You can no longer express what's going on internally.
That's what I was trying to
That's
get.
It's very dangerous, the level of all of the pieces working together with everything, because when you take the heavy metals, the fluoride, the this, the that, and you have all of these
Mixed
different
up.
pieces that are just disconnected in the human body, that's where that look comes from. You try to say any of these pieces to somebody who isn't aware, or they're not awake, or however you want to say it, they could be very intelligent people, but
Right.
that's your
They're so
why.
stuck.
That's
Yeah.
your why. They're full of mercury, they're full of poison, they're full of
Yeah.
thiamosol, well, you name it, they're on it.
Yeah.
And that comes from
That are so polluted.
mine is.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
from
Okay.
in
So like,
Ohio of everything.
there's some cities that don't tell you that, and then people
Most of
drink
them
it.
don't.
Yeah.
Most of them don't. And then you'll have a lot of people that defend it because that came from the dentist. The dentist will say, "Oh,
Oh,
fluoride
yeah.
in small amounts
It's
isn't
good. Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah.
It's good for you." No, it is not.
Yeah.
It is not good for you in any amount because it is
'Cause it's gonna build.
accumulative.
Well,
It
that's
does not
It's
detox
gonna
like
build up.
that.
right. Well, that's where you follow the rabbit, because you got to figure out who's testing the water too. What are they connected to?
Well, the
As in literally
watersheds
the water.
Who's
themselves.
appointed in like the environmental
Well,
offices
it
and
comes from
things?
the city. So the city
Everything's tied in.
The city is in
So
charge of the departments throughout the city, and that's for the sewer departments, that's for the fire departments, that's for any of the official offices, that's for the courts, that's for the everything. The city is the government, and that is the local version of this giant mess that we're in.
the problem is you got the heads of the snake, and then you got the minions.
Yeah.
The minions are in the office on the computers and on the this
And
and
that
on that.
none, and that's also the same thing. So none of these departments knows what's going on in any of these other departments. The buildings department inspection was falling to pieces because they kept stealing his employees and moving them over to better paying positions, and you couldn't just give these people a raise and leave this guy
Right.
his employees.
Right.
And he's like crying down, like breaking down because
Because he's lost
he's
his shit.
he's done. Yeah. So, and then meanwhile they'll have $50,000 in rollover accounts in other places, and then they can pop up structures for themselves that all of these departments have their own source of income, and then they'll tell everybody, oh, that's what the taxes pay for. No, it's not. No, it's not. Everything is going into pockets. Nothing is getting fixed. Everything is getting jacked up.
Oh, they're
Everything is
saying they're
getting
fixing it,
poisoned.
but they're not.
Y-
They're
Exactly.
fixing it.
That's why our local one is waiting for this infrastructure bailout money and
Oh,
keep
yeah,
throwing
what about
patches on
infrastructure?
everything. And
An
meanwhile,
infrastructure bill,
there's
yeah.
places of our sewer line that haven't been repaired since the 80s or maintenance since the
That's
80s.
the
And our watersheds are brick and dilapidated. Our lines are full of brick. And in our house alone, we've paid thousands. My Oma has paid thousands of dollars now
fix it.
for plumbing on the inside of the house because we're having issues in there. Meanwhile, it's on the city side.
and they
It's
won't
their
fix it,
line.
right. And they won't fix that.
Well, they
side
messed
of
it up when they redid the road with the cheapest material. The president of the council himself said, "We choose the lowest costing best option." And I said, "That
Well, I
means you
think it
choose
barked
the
on-
worst of the options. You choose the best of the worst options." That's what you just said in those words. If you know how to pick apart their dialogue, they tell you everything. They just say
or
it just
trying
so
to save
to
it.
make it.
Right. Allison, you just hit the nail
Trying
on
to
the
save
head.
it.
It's all about
It's you
the
gotta
language.
Look at the little language inside
Yeah.
the
And how they're saying.
dialogue. You gotta look. You gotta really tear it apart. And not everybody. I can't do that. But when you have good teams, when you build
Or other
teams like
people,
this, you get the pieces in place that do that, and that's what Nationwide runs so well.
Well, they did that. They did that on
Allison is powerful our
purpose.
side, I'm powerful on my side. It
And
comes.
then
It
you got
works.
other people also
Mm.
that
You know?
have different.
And now look, now you're part of the family. I mean, you're you, Nikki's Nikki, but you're still part of the family regardless. Everybody comes into who they are, and as they are. And we got open arms, open heart to everybody that's in the right intentions and right heart. You know?
Guys, we got any questions? Any questions? Oh, really? It must be a little Wi-Fi.
It is. Someone's cutting us down a little bit. Someone's.
It's just a service over here. I swear, it's like a weird thing.
Yeah, but if you have
when I was doing
live,
going out of here, it will stop live right before we get on the intersection, and then it'll go normal the rest of the way. I'm like, what the fuck is right here? Dead spot right there.
Well, here's the thing. If there's people on there and they're not telling you it's in and out,
right?
You have full connection. That means we are being cut our numbers.
Right, but it would be nice if
they're not showing you. There's other people on there, I guarantee you. Otherwise, they'd be telling you that video was getting cut right now.
Yeah, this is what it's doing right now.
It's a service.
That's service. So they're not even seeing the whole thing. They're getting it's in and out. We'll have to reschedule this. That's